హలో ఆల్ ఏవియజల్ సిస్టర్స్, అందరూ బాగున్నారు అనుకుంటున్నా. నేను మనోరంజితని. టుడేస్ టాపిక్ ఫర్ డిస్కషన్ ఇస్ మెంటల్ హెల్త్ అమంగ్స్ట్ విమెన్. Mental health is a state of psychological and emotional well-being. Mental health affects both male and female equally. But there are certain mental illnesses that women go through exclusively because of their gender. The factors like socio-economic and cultural factors promote those mental illness amongst women. ఆడవాళ్ళకి కొన్ని మెంటల్ ఇల్నెస్ వాళ్ళకు మాత్రమే మెంటల్ ఇల్నెస్ అఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఏమవి అది తెలుసుకుంటాం రండి. When I say there are mental illnesses that women go through, I have to begin from different stages that women or a girl begins to grow as an individual. So beginning first stage, I would start with puberty. Puberty ante when a girl is reaching her menarche. ఒక ఆడపిల్ల వయసుకు వచ్చిందంటే ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఇట్స్ కాల్డ్ as attaining puberty or a menarche. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ ఫేజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్? వెన్ అ గర్ల్ రీచెస్ హర్ menarche, the biological changes that the girl is going through, beginning of developing our private parts, pubic hair, along with that the psychological effect that the girl is going through, acceptance of what is happening in our body, how people are reacting to her, what is the physiological changes that she is seeing, what are the hormonal imbalances that are happening to her mind. ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. The prior information she knows or has been informed about attaining a menarche is very important in understanding the girl when she is going through that phase with a comfort. If I don't know that information prior to when I go through this menarche, ఏమవుతుంది? I am in a state of shock, denial. I don't know what is happening to me. Am I seeing a first sign of bleeding? Am I seeing some parts of my body developing? So what is all these? I am unaware. I am feeling very discomfort. Ilanti thoughts are going to lead her to develop a discomfort, adding a stress factor. Stress is a factor which promotes lot of psychological illnesses. Stress is a triggering factor at any phase, at any gender for a mental illness to begin. అందుకే it's very important when a girl is reaching her menarche, a puberty phase, it's very important for close relatives, family members, mother, elder sister, aunt to keep the girl child aware about what a puberty is, what attaining a menarche is, what are the changes that she will go through, what is expected out of her, how she will carry her mind and body in that different phase that she enters. ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. If she is unaware of it, she may be behaving very confused, she may not accept the changes, and she may feel very weird as to what things are happening inside her body. This is one phase that when a girl is entering her menarche. After menarche, fine, we are in a city place where we are living, but there are instances where girl child after her puberty, she has gone through physical abuse, rape. These are certain challenges few girls go through in their childhood as adolescence, pre-adolescence phase. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? దే ఆర్ స్టిల్ నాట్ ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫర్ bodily sexual activity that has to happen. They are unaware of it. So if they encounter such challenges as a girl, as a pre-adolescent, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? The stress that they go through, as it is they're going through a lot of biological discomfort and lot of pain in their physical body, right? Because of the event that has taken place. It's a big life event, untoward event which has taken place. Appudu em avutundi? The stress triggers her after the traumatic event forever in her life. So which has happened in an early stage. Throughout she will have that post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is the name where every time there is a stress or a thought of physical contact she has to come through, that thought is recurring in her mind. It is causing a lot of discomfort and pain for her. This is post-traumatic stress disorder that a girl, adolescent, or anyone goes through at any age when there is a discomfort that the child has gone through because of any violence, physical abuse the child has gone through. After this, puberty, pre-adolescence, adolescence, then is the marital stage that a girl is entering to a marital phase. What happens when you enter to a marital phase? Preparation of your mind to enter to a new phase of life is very important. Chala important ee phase. Getting to know that you're getting married, you're going to live with somebody else in a new house, new environment, with new relationships is very, very important. At times what happens, my dear sisters, we are so preoccupied that we are getting married, over enthusiastic, we just get into a family. There you encounter small challenges, even it could be the way you dress up, the way you eat, what you eat. These could be certain challenges. Even a choice of vegetable or a fruit to eat could be certain challenges. When your mind is not prepared, you begin a marital life with a preconception, with a mindset up that this is how it's going to be. I am going to be accepted here like this. I have lived my life in the past like this. Even now there are not going to be changes. I am going to be who I am and what I am. Ilanti oka thought lo when we begin our marital life, there could be certain challenges that you encounter when you live with in-laws, a joint family system where they have their own different thoughts of having a lifestyle changes. So that will be big challenges that you go through. So where you may have a lot of depressive features, not having recognized that there has to be certain changes that you have to make for living with your marital life. Beginning your marital life comes with challenges, acceptance to new ideologies and way of living. మనము ఆల్రెడీ విత్ ప్రీకన్సెప్షన్ ఆఫ్ మైండ్ లో స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే ఇలాంటి రిలేషన్షిప్స్ ఇట్ లీడ్స్ టు డిస్కంఫర్ట్, లాట్ ఆఫ్ పెయిన్, స్ట్రెస్, యాంగర్. Then it will lead to stress, it will lead to anxiety that I am no way considered in this house, I am not being approved in this house, I am not accepted in this house, I mean nothing to these people, my choices have not been recognized, my likes have not been spoken about, I don't have the freedom. These are the thoughts, a chain of thoughts that you will encounter and go through. Once you're in marital life, 2 years, 3 years, you settle down with people and relationship, get to know how to deal with people and how to have a comfortable lifestyle with them. Then is this conception, where a woman is entering a motherhood, a next phase of her marital life. This motherhood from the preconception, whether it was jovial, it just happened naturally, or whether it was forced, it was wanted, unwanted, ilanti factors play an important role in understanding the mental health of women at the time of her conception. So what is very important at the time of conception, whether she was happy, whether it was a light conception, was she very upset about conception, didn't she like to carry the child? It really plays an important role on the child in the womb. So how the child is going to be treated, how the mother's mood is going to affect the child's development plays an important role. ఆ కాలంలో అందుకే చెప్పుంటారు కదా, హ్యాపీగా ఉండాలి, కడుపు నిండుకు భోంచేయాలి, కన్నిండుకు నిద్రపోవాలి. ప్రెగ్నెంట్ విమెన్, షీ షుడ్ ఈట్ ఎనీథింగ్ దట్ షీ లైక్స్, పీపుల్ షుడ్ ఫీడ్ హర్ with whatever she wants. There is a logic behind this, that you have to make sure your mind is at ease and peace, so that the child also has a very positive energy that you are giving through your womb. When you go through this conception and when you have delivered a child, so the next thing is post-traumatic, post-delivery. Once you've delivered the child, it is postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression that that most women go through. At least 4 to 5 in 1,000 people have been understood to go through postpartum psychosis or depression. Yentadi? Denial that I have given birth to a child. I don't want to take care of the child. The child is not mine. I don't want to see the child. I don't want to feed the child. These all are the postpartum psychosis and depressive features in women. When they don't want to take care of themselves, when they don't want to take bath, when they feel helpless, hopeless, very irritable, and they are not able to sleep throughout the night. Even in the daytime, they can't close their eyes and fall asleep. They are in depressive phase. This may prolong for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. So it's very important for a caretaker with that girl or a woman who has given birth to a child. We identify the symptoms very early, whether she is having discomfort, whether she is having trouble, pain in taking care, in the changes of sleep pattern and food, or are there signs and symptoms of postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression. For this, there are treatments with medication and with psychological therapies. Both can be dwelt with. Once you are out of the conception, delivery, postpartum psychosis or depression, as you move on, the other phase you are now going to face is life event or a menopause. Life event, when you are in 40s, 50s, you may have aged parents who are 75, 80, losing of a parent, parents, sibling, in-laws. This could be called as life events, where it could lay a lot of stress on your mind, not able to accept, being in denial that my near and dear is no more, and how that lays a psychological impact on your mind. That I have lost them, I have no hopes to live for. My near and dear one is no more in my life, physically no contact now. I am also not worth to live in this world. I have nobody else to share anything. Ilanti thoughts will keep hitting your mind. So life event is another difficult phase to go through. So as a person who is aging, so it's very important we understand that every phase comes with challenges. So how do I make sure that I do not get affected is very important. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay to cry. It is okay to mourn for some person, to be in grief for a period of time, to feel very deprived from everything for some period of time. But how long is that period of time is a matter. My dear sisters, there's a thin line between normal and abnormal. So how long do I go through this difficult phase? How do I overcome that? Adi chala important. Identifying my signs and symptoms early, making sure I talk to somebody, I meet a professional for this, I write down the discomfort that I'm going through. So these are some, I get into some hobbies. I keep my mind and body occupied by certain activities. I take initiative in the house to be part of something. So these are the activities and way of dealing with stress, making sure you don't have depressive features at any life event or any discomfort that you're going through. Perimenopausal phase is another event that a woman encounters when she is 45-50 years. Many women are very fearful when it comes to menopausal phase. There has been an indication that when they are 40s, they start thinking, in a few more years, I'm going to reach menopause. This may happen to me, that may happen to me. Many women think about that. I understand, sisters, but it's very important we know the appropriate information about menopause and how it's going to play an important role on your mind and what happens to you when you go through that. Do not grab information from inappropriate sources and create panic attacks in you, which is a very common thing that happens in women. High palpitations, feeling restless, unable to concentrate, not knowing what is happening in you, feeling too stressed, overwhelmed with things is what really happens when you know more about something. And even inappropriate information is gathered. This is what happens. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, రీసెర్చ్ has proved that menopause and mood swings are very interlinked. It does happen. Yes, understood. But what do I do when that is happening? అది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. It's a known factor. It's been identified. Oh yes. Then what do I do? Then make sure, how do you plan your days? Identify which are the days you are feeling very irritable about. This I am talking when you are having your menstrual cycle. With respect to menopause, we'll talk a bit later. When you are having your menstrual cycle, premenstrual syndrome. So what happens to that? What happens? Recognize the days when you're going to be irritable. Identify what makes you feel irritable. Children shouting, not able to do homework, you are not able to concentrate, anybody calling you, any cooking is causing discomfort for you. Identify what activities is promoting stress in you. So also try recognizing what gives you pleasure, what makes your mind more relaxed. Watching a television program, texting a good friend of yours, a good hour of sleep in the afternoon, 2 hours or 3 hours. So identify what gives you happiness and comfort. Plan your cooking meals appropriately to that when you also know that you are close to your menstrual cycle. So this is about premenstrual syndrome that most of the women go through, and mood swings have been very well associated to have a role in premenstrual or menstrual cycles. So when we are speaking about perimenopause phase, so it is understood that women feel very panicky about it. It is okay to go through it, but don't brood over that. Don't overthink or brood over those thoughts. It's very important you know it, but keep the knowledge updated. That is all would be very essential about it. When you go through menopause phase, I was already talking about it. Yes, research have proved that there is mood swing that happens. It's because the ovary follicles that has a cessation. The ovarian follicles start ceasing and there is no menstruation that's happening. So what happens? It's actually something, the biology that is taken care of. We don't have to worry a lot about it. But the unnecessary information that we have gathered from people is what is making women go through panic attacks, anxious, and feeling depressed about what I may go through, what may happen to me. The fear concept is what which is playing an important role in most women. So there has also been research which has proved that women also have some discomfort with their memory during their menopausal phase. Fine. When we know all these, it's very important to take care of our memory. Start playing some puzzles, solving crosswords, keep some activities for your mind to keep yourself more activated with ability to be attentive and concentrative and to trigger your memory in your brain. Keep a note of what are the mood swings that you go through, when is it that you go through, do some relaxation techniques, get into some mental health activities like breathing exercise, yoga for your wellness. These will not only make your daily routines being occupied, but promote oxygen in your brain, which is very much needed to keep your mind at ease and keep you relaxed. So that is very important in menopausal phase. Post-menopausal phase also is a challenge that you go through because there is certain knowledge that women put on weight, they may lose hair fall may happen. So women tend to become very conscious about how they look, approval by the society, how am I being seen, how is my complexion, how is my weight, how is my hair. So people are being judged. I am being judged is the thought that one goes through. So it is more of you looking for an external cue. So those social comments are making you feel restless, unhappy, discomfort about yourself. So accept yourself as what you are, how you are. Teach a girl to respect herself for what she is and how she is from a very beginning, so that it helps her to go through all the phases of her life with lot of comfort and happiness. So post-menopausal phase, there could be challenges like some bodily discomfort, ache, pains, muscle cramps. So these could be certain challenges that women go through post-menopausal phase. So what is very important post-menopausal phase, when we know these are the challenges, it's important we take prior some activities into where we keep our body at little more fit, so that you don't have to feel, yes, I'm going through this and these are the things that I have to. One thought is always very important, my sisters. Every phase of life comes with a lot of changes in our body and mind. Keeping our mind body open to new challenges is very important. When you have an openness in your mind, approach towards whatever challenges you face or come through becomes easier to accept. When you have a closed mindset, this is what I have been, this is how I'm going to be, this is what I want to be always, ilanti alochana unnappudu even the smallest change to go through will look like a very big one. The challenge could be a small, but the way you perceive it is very important. So how you take it, accept it, and acknowledge that challenge is very important. So teach a girl to accept challenges, face it, and overcome it. But at the same time, do not look forward for the outcome of that. When you're always looking for an outcome of any aspect that you're doing, that's where you fail, or you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel confident about what you're being doing. Your mind is preconceived with the thought that I have to do this, I have to attain this, I have to achieve this. So let your mind body be at ease at any phase of life you're facing. Let any challenges come across physiologically. Keep your mind open. Do not allow panic attacks, social anxiety, generalized anxiety, depressive features to affect you because of the environmental cues. There are certain illnesses that trigger due to neurotransmitters, genetic factors that play an important role. You may have very less control over that. But if it is something because of socio-cultural, environmental cues that is taking place, as an individual, that is where you should have a control on understanding the environment, looking for your mental support, looking for your internal capabilities to help your own self for a better being. So these are the different challenges that women go through, from menarche, puberty, physical violence, entering a new phase of marital life challenges. Then it's about conception, then delivery, postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression phase. Then it is perimenopause. Before that is the menstrual cycle syndrome. Then the perimenopause. Then the menopause phase, post-menopause phase, life events that comes as big challenges for any individual. As a woman with comorbid illnesses, something like cancer, diabetes, asthma, how do we overcome that with comorbid illnesses also is very important. It is known that 41% of the women worldwide go through depressive features at any given point of their lifetime. So taking care of our mental health by ourselves with little support from professionals and family members is very important. But when you've identified that you're not able to, there is something beyond your capability, that's when you'll have to see a mental health professional. Now, who are mental health professionals, my sisters? When you have a discomfort in your mind, when you're not able to concentrate, when you're not able to relax, over a period of time, you've tried all your best ways to overcome the challenges and difficulties that you've been going through. In spite of that, by yourselves or family support, you're not able to overcome the discomfort and it's worsening. That's the time you'll have to hit a mental health professionals for seeking support. A psychiatrist is a person who has done his or her MBBS and done masters in psychiatric medication, either a DPM or a MD in psychiatry. They are eligible to prescribe psychiatric medications. A psychologist is a professional who evaluates, does assessments, plans for therapy, counseling, and sessions for a person with mental illness, for care providers, for extended family members, to make sure that their mind and mental health well-being is enhanced. So mental illness comes with lot of challenges. It could be genetic factor, socio-economical factor that play an important role, care provider, pharmacotherapy, psychological therapy, taking care of the burden and stress of care providers are all the role that a psychologist would look into. So this is very important. You have an understanding as a take-home message who is a psychiatrist, who is a psychologist, and when to meet a mental health professional when you think you are not able to overcome your discomfort or uneasiness by your own self when it's pertaining for a period of more than 2 months or 3 months. So that is very important you understand. And there have been certain questions asked by our sisters. So let's see what those questions are. Okay, one sister has asked, "Hi ma'am, I get angry very soon and I also become nervous when I'm angry. Please suggest what should be done to avoid this." Okay, it is understood you are going through anger and you feel nervous. Feeling nervous is the first indication that you get when you get to know that you are very angry. You are going through anxiety. So it's very important you calm down. For calming down, we talk about something called Jacobson's relaxation technique. So it is a technique that we teach the breathing pattern for patients to keep your mind relaxed. And there are certain other interpersonal therapies, talk therapies that we practice in behavioral therapy, over which you can overcome the anger management techniques. Thank you. Second person has asked, "Hello, I really have this problem from so many years, but after delivery, my frustration, stress, anger, mood swings have become more. From few days I am getting more stress when someone speak or shout louder. I also have D3 and B12 deficiency as well. Please provide me a solution for this, ma'am." You have recognized that there is frustration, stress, anger and mood swings in you, and also have told me that D3 and B12 deficiencies are there. Dear sister, I don't want to frighten you, but please meet a professional, get an assessment done, get the D3 and B12 evaluations done again, because D3 and B12 deficiencies lay threshold as for psychiatric illnesses, where we get the lipid profile, thyroid test, T3, T4, D3, B12 done to understand whether there is some threshold factor that plays an important role in understanding depression or bipolar affective disorders that could be an underlying causal factor for a psychiatric illness in future. Here, thank you. Third person, nowadays I am going to depression, feel lonely and feel that I am not needed for anyone. I have a baby, so once it is 1 year, I feel I should not be alive anymore. After marriage, the only one hope we have is hubby, but when he only hurts, what more can we expect? Had contacted the doctor also. She said I am in depression and I need to be treated with some medication itself. After contacting doctor, my fear has become even more, as she cannot overcome this is only sitting unless medication is taken. I am not very brave enough to give a try as I have a baby. Please help me with alternative solution, ma'am. Dear sister, you are going through a depressive phase with suicidal ideations. Understood, your spouse is the best person who can be supporting you, making sure he gives the best comfort for you at this phase. Please take some time, sit along with your spouse. Please share your comforts and discomforts that you're going through. You have said you contacted a doctor. I am not sure whether you have contacted a general physician, your gynecologist or a psychiatrist. Please consult a psychiatrist to get an assessment or an evaluation done to understand whether you are having the suicidal ideations or whether it's being very repetitive or whether you are still having that postpartum depressive phase that you're going through. So that medication is very, very necessary. When you have fever, cold or cough, you take medications for 3 days, 5 days, then you overcome that. It is exactly like that. You're going through a difficult phase, medication may be a requirement. You please make sure that you consult a psychiatrist and seek the right line of treatment. If you are even a lactating mother, there have been certain medications which psychiatrists are aware with the latest technology. Even though you are a lactating mother, there are medications which can be taken. So kindly approach a right person to take a appropriate treatment. Be safe. Thank you. Fourth person, I get shivering when I get tensed. This becomes more when there are many relatives. This is social anxiety, my dear sister. When there is a group of people, when you're not able to address a group of people, when you think there is something that they're going to judge me on, I am feeling shameful, I am having guilt, I am not knowing what to react, how to react. So the preconception of mind that they will be judgmental to me, I am not up to the mark, having a low self-esteem and confidence in you. This is what is promoting social anxiety in you, not able to meet the gathering or relatives in a group. It is very important you learn socio-personal skills, you learn assertive communication skills, and you learn how to have a good self-esteem and self-confidence. That's very important, and this social anxiety will sure come down over a learning of these skills. Thank you. The fifth person has asked, why do we get mood swings, and is that related to our menstrual cycle or periods? Please advise. Yes, sister. I think when I was talking about menstrual cycles, and I did tell you that mood swings are very well associated and a known factor, and research has proved that. So it's very important we identify it and know what triggers us and how do we take care of ourselves during those menstrual cycle phase. Yeah, thank you. The next person has asked, how to manage stress during age of 40s. Quite scared about menopause. Please give tips to stay healthy at 40. Dear sister, staying healthy at every phase of life is very important. 40, yes, very important, because that is a phase when you are more prone to many type of illnesses physiologically also. Type 2 diabetes, with respect to eye issues. I got it. So when you said 40s, that is where it's like a threshold of entering to a phase with opening your mind and body for more and physiological illnesses that you may encounter because of your lifestyle or genetic factors that play an important role. So as I already told in the few minutes before, taking care of your mind during your menopause by identifying whether you are having discomfort with your memory, whether you are able to walk, whether you have cramps, whether you have discomfort about putting on weight, these have to be the points to be noted and taken care of. Yeah, thank you. The next person has asked, hi ma'am, I live in a joint family. I am occupied with work always. Very often I get mood swings and I feel somewhat irritated and frustrated throughout the day. For no reason, I keep yelling at my husband whatever he comes to me. I get angry on my mom-in-law for no reason. She would not even have done anything for me, but I start imagining something and all I get angry on them and for no mistake of their side. Later when I sit back and think, I repent why I behaved like this for no reason. Please advise. Dear sister, it's very nice of you. You have identified why you go through this. You are frustrated and irritated, and you are showing your anger on your husband and mother-in-law who have done nothing wrong. So it's a clear indication that your anger has to be controlled, the very first thing, and you are having certain suppressed thoughts, like you don't know whom to tell what. So it could be relating, you said you're working. So if you're having work pressure because of your office, corporate, wherever you've been working, you may have not known how to put across your thoughts. So where you're working, you may have felt that you've not been heard. You've been overjudged, underjudged. When those are the feelings that you have, so that's where you don't know how to show your anger on, and you're putting it across to the wrong person. So it's very important to stand up, to have that individual capability to make sure you put across your comforts and discomforts to the appropriate person to whom it is applicable, instead of putting across to the other person, where you may lose relationship or you may cause more discomfort for people who have been very good to you and kind to you. Kindly identify who is causing discomfort, what is causing discomfort, identify that, tackle that first, and then have a calm relationship and easy going with whomever you're living with. Thank you. The next member: I am married since 5 years. My problem is that my husband does not listen to me at all and always listens to his mom. This pricks me a lot. There is no understanding at all between us due to this. I am unhappy due to this. What do I do? Please advise. Dear sister, I understand. For 5 years you've been married. You started your relationship with assuming that I am going to live a happy life with my husband who is going to listen to me whatever I say and take good care of me. It's the same with his mother, and that the same relationship he would be expecting with his mother, and mother would expect the same. Is it not? Try understanding what is it that you feel you don't get from him. Have an open discussion with him. Take short breaks. Go out, relax, do some activities together, spend quality time, and also give time for your in-laws. Thank you so much. The next sister has written, I have a mother-in-law who is hyperactive, a daughter-in-law who is hyperactive. They both are one and separate me. I am not able to survive between both of them, and I am feeling like getting sandwiched between them. Please advise what I should do and how do I overcome this situation. Dear sister, you have recognized that they are very hyperactive. Let them be what they want to be, how they want to be. First, think of your mental health, how you can keep yourself calm. Since you want to do that, only you have written this message, I understand. So what is it that you can do is, do not try to bother yourselves more by their actions and reactions. That is what they are trying to do with you, provoke you more so that you have discomfort and you react to the situation. That is what they would be liking to do. So understand, the minute you try reacting is what they want to make sure that you are having discomfort on. So relax, do meditation, allow things to fall in its place by itself. Do not brood over. Keep your mind occupied with your own activities. Take life as it comes, with certain challenges and certain way of dealing with mental health that you should look forward for your own self. Thank you so much, my dear sisters, for giving me an opportunity for having spoken about mental health amongst women at all stages that they encounter, how to identify and how do we go about what that. So as I said, psychiatric treatment about medications and psychological therapy and treatment is equally important. I am Manoranjita, a rehabilitation psychologist and a marital therapist, founder of Manospandana Mental Health Awareness and Wellness Clinic, Bangalore. So I deal with behavioral therapy, I deal with cognitive behavioral therapy, talk therapy, interpersonal therapy, and Jacobson's relaxation techniques. And these are certain techniques that I follow for all age groups, for children, adolescents, pre-adolescents, women, men. Geriatric issues is what I deal with, psychological and psychiatric conditions. So this was a discussion about mental health amongst women. I would like to give a humble thanks to Kavita Akka, the admin, and Ramya Sridhar, the moderator for this, who have been very cooperative and laid a platform for me to promote mental health amongst women, which is very important to know what are the mental health illnesses that women go through at every stage and how to identify that and overcome that, so that we know what are the things that we have to keep in mind before we encounter, and how do we seek professional support when we are not able to face these challenges by ourselves. Thank you. Jai Vasavi.